What up, guys? Prodigy here, bringing you guys a quick trade plan video for the week on where I plan on taking my calls at, where I plan on taking my puts at, why I even have these levels set at the level that they're at, because I only have two levels, one call and one put level. So I'm going to keep it real simple for anybody that's new. And I'm going to show you guys how I even got this and what I also expect coming up this week, beginning of the week. Because honestly, I do see a lot of bearish momentum action building up. And so I am curious if we're going to get a little bit of a relief bounce, or not a relief, but a relief to the downside, and see if we're going to continue back on up. So let's get right into it, guys. If you guys are new to my trade plan videos, what I like to do is start on a weekly time frame. And if you are a beginner, I'm going to try to do my best to keep it beginner friendly. But I'm also going to try to keep it real quick to not make this video longer than it should be. So as we already been watching in these past couple weeks since January, is this downtrend that we've been in for a long time. We've been in this downtrend for a long time over the year. So we finally broke that these past 2 weeks. You can see I'm on the weekly time frame, meaning that each candle represents each candle represents 1 week of trading. So this is last week, and this is the week before. This is the week before that we broke out. So we already broke out of this downtrend, and we just been doing nothing but going up and up and creating new breaks of highs. And what I mean by that is, if you look at these two candles, weeks before that, we're already well above these candles, and we're even above this candle right here. So I'm just curious on how much more are we going to go up. But what I am noticing and reasons why I'm kind of bearish this coming up week, meaning that I believe that we're going to come on down a little bit. If I zoom in on these candles, which I love reading candles. I love reading my volume, and all I'm noticing as far as the volume goes and candlesticks goes is that sellers have been increasing just a tad bit. Obviously, there's a lot more buyers here. There's way more buyers here. I mean, there's 307 million shares of buyers being bought, with only 151 million shares being sold. So it's a big difference, but sellers have been increasing a lot. I mean, you could just see last week was 151 million, but the week before that was just only 62. So we have been increasing more than double. Even before that, we had a little bit of an increase, but buyers just been crazy buying us up. So I am curious if we're going to keep this up, but I don't know. So I can only use my technical analysis to do what I can. So let's look at the daily. So that was the weekly. The daily has another bearish indication too, for why I believe we can continue on back to the downside too as well. So now that I'm looking at the daily time frame, meaning that each candle represents 1 day of trading action, 1 day of buyers and sellers constantly going back and forth, selling and buying consistently every day, all day. So again, just like the weekly time frame, if I go down to my candles, I can see that sellers have been increasing, especially on Friday. I mean, there was barely any buyers, although we did get bought up like crazy all the way up and hit some really nice highs. We did get sold off pretty quickly, pretty nasty too. It was pretty quick. I remember seeing it happen. I remember seeing the RSI building that big bearish divergence, and I actually did get into some nice puts from the top on SPY and made a nice 70%. So that was pretty cool. I only bought one contract, unfortunately, but I saw that building up, and so that's what gave me the confirmation to take puts. So not only do we have an increase in sellers coming up, but guys, I know you guys are maybe not too familiar, or if you are familiar with gaps, you can see that there's a gap right here. What does a gap mean? So on Wednesday, February 1st, we closed at 410.80. But the day after that, we literally opened super high up. We opened $4 above that level, which creates a gap in the chart. And so we gapped up $4 above, and then we even on Friday gapped down quite a bit, but you can see that we filled it. And all that means is when you fill it is the price fills up the gap where there was, where the price either dropped or increased like crazy. So we did fill it back up, but we have not filled Wednesday's gap yet. So I'm curious if we're going to fill Wednesday's gap this coming week due to an increase in sellers showing on the weekly and the daily. But not only that, guys, I'm looking on the lower time frame now. I started on the weekly, started on the daily. Now I'm going even lower. Now, if you watched my RSI video or know anything about RSI, I'm going to do a quick RSI analysis for why I'm also seeing a bearish divergence on the RSI. So I'm seeing a bearish divergence on the RSI, and it's right here. It begins on pretty much on Wednesday. So right on Wednesday, you can see that if you grab this low, this wick right here, and grab the pretty much we have lower highs, right? We're creating some. I mean, not lower highs. Sorry, we have some higher lows creating, meaning a nice uptrend. But look at the RSI right here. It's creating a mini bearish indication, and if I grab that same look, this is the same area. If I grab that same area where I did on the candlestick, come down to my RSI indicator, we're creating lower lows, but the stock is creating higher highs. So all that's indicating is that there's a little bit of a bearish divergence showing, a little bit of a bearish momentum pulling up on us. And so that's just another little thing that I see that's showing. And so I'm going to keep and watch. I'm not going to try to be too biased or be like, oh, I'm only going to look for puts, because I actually have both levels charted. But now let's talk about, now that we're on the lower time frame on the hourly specifically right now, let's talk about the levels that we have charted out and why we have them charted out. So now that I've started from the weekly, daily, now I'm down to the hourly, which I skipped the 4 hour, although I already looked at it personally myself, and I'm not going to go too deep on the 4 hour. There is a little bit of just choppiness to it around here, but same thing what it looks like on this chart. But look at this. So this is what I see on the hourly. I mean, this shows up on the 15, 4 hours, 5 minutes. Doesn't really matter, but this is what I'm seeing right here. If we have the top of this wick of Thursday and connect it with Fridays, you get a lower high. And what I mean by lower highs is it means that the high was lower than the recent high. So it's just creating lower highs, and even it's creating lower lows. So we're in a little bit of a pattern right here, a little bit of a formation going on. And so all I'm going to be doing is just watching that. You know, tomorrow we might break it or we might not. Who knows? But I'm going to be watching for that. And so I plan on taking puts below 407.86. Reason being is not only will we break that lower low formation and continue on down, and it'll be a nice break to the downside, but that also just happens to be a level where I plan on taking my puts at. So what I like to do is when I chart down my levels is I like to go back in time, and this is actually a level that I found on a 4 hour time frame, but I'm going to go down on an hourly, which is where we're at right now, and show you guys how it looks back in history. So let's go back in history on this, and let's look specifically only at this 407.86 put level to show you guys what it looks like on the charts and how it has a nice reaction to it. So we have a little bit of a rejection right there, but it's still not the best. And we have a fake out right here, or a nice lot of wicks to the upside. We did get to this little zone right here, but man, we got sold off pretty quickly pre-market. And yeah, so you know, this level wasn't too good right there, but if you go back in time right here, we got a nice rejection right here, and nice support right here. So it's showing some nice strength at this area. But not only that, you go back more in time too, and there's a lot more strength in this area too, which is why I really love this put level. You can see right here after hours we did break, or pre-market we broke it, and right at open, or right before open, we get a nice break to the upside, and there's a lot of support right here indicating that this is also a really nice strong level. You know, we get a nice break on this day, on this down crazy day. I mean, we crapped down this day. This day was news heavy. So I'm not going to take that one into account, but that one's still really important. But look at this. There's a lot of support right here. Get a little break in pre-market, but we get a nice break back to the upside. So there's a nice little support right here as well. Right at pre-market, open, we get a nice break to the upside. So I really love this level right here. 407.86 is showing some really nice strength, and that's not it either. I mean, there's another area that shows some really nice strength in this level too. So we have some nice support right here in pre-market. You know, during trading hours to get a little doji candle back reversal to the upside. And this area is why I really love it. I mean, look at this. Nice rejections to this, as well as a little bit of a hold right here. So this area is just indicating some nice strong reaction to it. So I really love that a lot. I love that showing that strength. So now let's talk about where we plan on taking calls at to make it real quick. Sorry guys, I know I'm running at 10 minutes. I tried to not make it this much time, but Now, let's talk about calls real quick, and this is where we'll end it. So I am going to take the risk of taking calls above 415.02, which is what we had last week's plan. And I already did make some nice money above 415.02 on the break above here. So it was real nice already. But I do plan on taking calls above, again, 415.02. But more safer, I would take calls above the break of Thursday, which is 418.31, which I'm going to have that charted out too pretty soon and have that level ready to break. But 415.02 is where I'm going to take my calls at. Reason being, I mean, I really love this level because it's the only... So 415.02, I took calls already on that level, but it had a nice... It was only because, look at this. This is the reason why I really loved it. It was just the most recent high that we had, and we just recently broke that as far as Thursday and Friday. But I plan on taking calls above it one more time. You can even see that right around here. It has some nice rejections and some supports on it. So I really love this level. You can see right around here too. Again, I mean, there's some nice support around it. Would have got faked out right here if we would have took calls and hoped for next day to be above. But I mean, we just chopped up these 3 days right here. So I really love this level, 415.02. That's where I plan on taking my calls at. You can see again, there's some nice support around here. Another fake hour here. If you would have took some calls, swung them to the next day. I mean, hopefully you got it right above this, and you can see that it's some lower highs. But anyways, I really love this level. There's some support and a lot of rejection right here. So it's just showing that this level is pretty strong. It's really strong, actually. So guys, that's pretty much my trade plan for this week. I have other levels that I will be updating throughout the week once we break these levels. But so far, all I'm going to be doing this coming up Monday, Tuesday is watching for this pattern to be broken with. I am pretty bearish just coming up Monday, Tuesday, but I won't be too biased. I have both levels posted up for a reason, just in case we get a call uptrend break. But most importantly, I'm going to be just taking puts if we get a nice bearish continuation back down. So anyways, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry it's so long. And hope to catch you guys in the live markets. If not, hope to catch you guys on the next one. Thank you guys.